So I'm the captain of the ship for today, and I'll be taking us through what is likely to happen all through this week in the market. Okay, so before I quickly do that, I want us to understand that trading has to do with two different things, basically. Okay, and the two different things is not far-fetched from the fact that for you to be a very profitable trader, you need to be disciplined, which is the number one thing you need as a trader. You need to be disciplined. And number two is discipline that bets consistency, right? So in all your trading or in every trade you are going to be picking, right, just ensure that you follow through your plan. Okay? Don't leave your plan, always follow your plan. And follow your plan, you are being disciplined. And by following your plan, you become consistent in the profit you'll be making. Okay. All right. My name is Gabriel Orureto. Okay. I'm taking us the MMR this morning from all the way from the Abuja office. Okay. So let's quickly kick off. Let me share my screen. And have a very smooth session. Okay. All right. Now, the first thing as a trader that you really need to check before any other thing, first thing you need to check. Okay, please just give me some few minutes, just 2 minutes. 2 minutes, I'm coming. All right, I'm back. Okay, sorry, just have to quickly fix some things before we proceed further. Okay, so now if you have any question, please just you can type your question into the chat box. Okay, real or demo account. Well, see, when it comes to trading, if you want to test a strategy, you test your strategy on your demo account. Now, if you want to now do the real thing, you need to go to your real account. Okay, so for today's morning market review, we'll be using our real account. Okay, so let's proceed. Mr. John Obong Edet, please type your question in the chat box if you have one. Right, all your questions will be answered too. Well, just like I was saying earlier, I said the first thing you need to do as a trader in the first day of the week for you to check, okay, what are the likely events that is likely to be released for the week. All right, now there's something I usually used to tell clients that don't be ignorant of fundamental. Okay, because you're a trader, so we can't talk like a trader. So I said, don't be ignorant of what? Fundamental. Okay, why did I say you should not be ignorant of fundamental? For the fact that fundamental can easily change price direction. Okay, it can easily make price to spike in a direction. And if you are not informed to the point that you have a fundamental coming out for an instrument, you now traded that instrument at that point in time, it's very possible that you are going to lose that trade. Okay, so most advisably, the first thing you want to do before picking any trade using technical analysis is just by checking the likelihood of the event that is coming out for that day or for the week. So now, for those of us joining us for the first time, or those of us that have joined before and you've not attended trainings now, this site I am on is what is called forexfactory.com. This is where we get to see all the news events that will be released for the week, right? So all the news events that will be released for the week. Okay, now let me quickly say this. Please, for now we've not started checking our chart. So if you have any instrument you want to check, hold on. Okay. Now you need to first know, okay, know the event that can easily change price direction before you now talk about technical analysis. You understand? Okay, because now technical analysis is a very good analysis that you can use, but when it comes to fundamental, it can disrupt technical analysis. For example, I'm supposed to buy at support. Okay, now for me to buy at support, I need to look out for some things also, maybe like my candlestick pattern. Now, if I see a candlestick pattern, for example, maybe like an hammer and a confirmation, an hammer and a confirmation. Now, if I'm talking about hammer confirmation, how to see it at the support, right? Now, seeing it at the support, if there is a fundamental that is coming out on that instrument and it comes out bad, definitely it will make the price what? To break the support, okay? So the first thing you really need to learn is for you to first know, is there any fundamental that is coming out from this instrument I want to trade at this particular time, all right? So for all the charts and technical analysis, we are still coming, but let's first check the events that we have for the week. So now, early hours of Sunday, you have the chairman of Bank of England to give a speech. And you see, on Monday, currently, you see, we have low impact news for JPY. Low impact news. Now, basically, we are focusing on the high impact news for this week. Okay. And last week was a very good one. Oh, I didn't even ask. Okay. How many of us traded NFP on Friday? Okay, let's quickly check. How many of us traded NFP on Friday? NFP is non-farm payroll. Okay, some of you might trade it and you don't even know what you traded. Okay, how did it go? How did it go? Okay, because you did make some good profit. That's good. That's good. We also made some very cool profit here. Okay, it went well. That's good. That's good. That's good. All right, that's a lovely one. Now, this week we'll be having CPI, PPI, and other news events that will be affecting price movement. Okay, so you don't want to miss it. You love rally. You don't have a choice but to love rally trade. Okay. All right. Now, let's quickly continue. Okay. Don't forget, you need to know, okay, the news event that can easily change price direction. So, which is the first thing you want to check. Mr. Segun Shokunbi, trade move faster than ever. Yes. Okay. That's how fundamental works. Okay. Fundamental just proves and it goes in the direction. Now, let's continue. Okay, so we have Bank of England. That's Governor Bailey is going to be giving another speech today by 4 p.m. That's one high impact news. So that means between 3, 4, 5, if you want to trade on any pair that has to do with the GBP, it's very likely you need to stay away from that instrument at that point in time. So on Tuesday by 7 o'clock, there is unemployment claims coming out for GBP by 7 o'clock a.m. Okay, so you can also use this guy to trade. Now, basically, they're expecting the numbers to increase, which means the numbers of people that lose their job for the first time in the economy, they're expecting to increase. So, with increase is a bad one for the economy. If it comes out bad, you'll see it's red. If it comes out good, you'll see it green. So, if it's green, you buy. If it's red, you sell. Okay. So now the next thing you can see on Wednesday, on Wednesday we have official cash rate coming out for Reserve Bank of New Zealand, and there was a time I was trying to trade this news. It's also an high impact news that can easily make prices spike, right? So you need to take note of this. If you want to set an alarm, you can set an alarm maybe like 5-10 minutes before the news, so that you prepare yourself. Then also by 9 o'clock a.m., still on Wednesday, Governor Bailey is still giving a speech. If you notice, this guy is giving a speech almost every day. He's giving a speech today. He's giving a speech. He's not giving a speech on Tuesday, but he's giving a speech on Wednesday. Okay. Then now also that same Wednesday, we have CPI. Right now, CPI is just what? Consumer Price Index. Okay, that's the news coming out from the US dollar, and it's going to affect the price. Okay, Fatai Salami. I believe everybody's hearing me, so please check your internet, check your network, and check your dialing mode, whether it's through the Wi-Fi or the cellular. You need to check it, right? Okay, so the next thing you can see, we have CPI coming out on Thursday. Okay, sorry, on Wednesday rather, and that same Wednesday, Canadian economy, they have their interest rates being released. Now they're expecting it to increase. Now, if the interest rate is coming out higher than what is expected, then it is good for the economy. Now, but for NZD, let's see, NZD, they are not really expecting a change, but if it comes out higher, it is good for the economy. Now, on Thursday, GBP, majorly most of the news coming out for this week focused on GBP, Canadian dollar, US dollar, and the New Zealand dollar. All right. So now you need to be careful when it comes to trading this instrument. Okay, Zion Adesafe, which one should we give credence to? Oh, in fundamental, every news is vital. Yes, every news is vital because you can think that a low impact news will not move the market, but to your surprise, you just see that it has made price to move over 60 bits within just 5 minutes. Okay, so that's why I mentioned that every news is vital. So you give credence to all. Okay, now since you have core CPI, you have CPI year over year, and you have CPI month over month, the rule is this: if everything comes out good, then you have a clear direction. Also, if everything comes out bad, you have a clear direction. Now, the only scenario whereby you might not really have a clear direction is when you have CPI MM to be good, CPI YY to be bad, now of course CPI to be neutral. Okay, so in that scenario, you don't have a clear direction. So what should you do? You are expected to do nothing. You understand? Okay, so that's just the rule of fundamental. There is no beating around the bush about it. If it's good, you buy. If it's bad, you sell. But if it is mixed, you are to stay away from that trade because you don't know the direction price is going to take. All right. So be careful when it comes to trading fundamental. Okay. Now going back to Thursday, that same Thursday, we have GBP that they are going to be releasing their gross domestic product month over month, and you can see industrial production and every other news coming out. On Thursday, that's early hours of the day from 7 o'clock a.m. And also by 1:30, the US dollar is having a news PPI. PPI simply means Producers Price Index. Okay? So you see all this news, you need to just be aware so that you don't trade blindly in the market, right? And on Friday, we only have one high impact news coming out for the US dollar later in the afternoon by 3 p.m. Now, we have checked all this. So what are we to trade for today? Okay, so let's quickly check some instruments. We can easily take advantage of their price movement. Now, this morning, some news has been released. You see, a news came out for the Chinese yuan. That's the CPI, Consumer Price Index, came out bad. So, which means that most of the Australian currencies or anything that has to do with the Asian region, not really expecting their currency to have much value because now most of the times the value of the Chinese yuan determines the price level of other. All right, please, can you still hear me? If you can hear me, just type yes. If you can hear me, just type yes. Okay, good. All right, let's proceed. Let's proceed. Okay, good. Thank you. Thank you. All right. Now, for, for today, so we are looking at a major impact news. The only major impact news coming out is on GBP and this later in the afternoon by 4 p.m. So that's the Bank of England, Governor Bailey is giving a speech. Okay, so every other low impact news. Now, remember I said every fundamental is what? Is vital. Okay, so now since it is vital, you don't need to be ignorant of them. So let's really go to our chart and let's see what is likely to happen. Okay, don't mind my charts. These are just the places of pending order that we did on Friday. Yeah, on Friday. Pending order we did on Friday. So, and you can see everything is just in one direction apart from, let's see, everything moves. And if you notice, as everything has pulled down or up, they later retraced. And if you had followed the retracement, you would have made money. Also, if you are using Fibonacci retracement, also you would have made money. Okay. All right. Let's proceed. Let's proceed. Now, price broke a support, came back inside the support, tested it. You have a bearish engulfing, and you see, trying to pull back. All right. Good. So let's start with Euro USD. That's EUR USD. Basically, even in the Eurozone, they are kind of skeptical about inflation and how it's affecting the economy. So now, for the US economy also, they are battling with inflation and also battling with recession, which are two different things that can easily shake the economy. So now for this guy, if you are trading technically, the first thing you want to check is what is the trend of this instrument? Is it going up? Is it coming down? Right now, basically, if you check this guy, if you notice it's more like tending towards up, but the overall direction, if you check, is still more like, okay, wait for my chart to load. The overall direction, if you check, is still more like a downtrend, but currently it's looking as if this guy is also change direction. Okay. So now, as it stands here, price has gotten to a resistance zone, somewhere around there. See, yeah. Now every point where price gets to and it changes direction is a resistance. But it looks as if it also changed direction. The areas of retracement are also support and resistance. All right. Now, the first thing we do, we identify where our support is and also where our resistance is. I have moving average 21 and moving average 50 chart. What's likely to happen going back to a 1 hour time frame. Now, before I'll be looking at buying on this Euro USD, I need to wait for price to come above, anywhere above 1.098. Anywhere above 1.098, I can be looking at buying, and I'll take my profits before this level, which is 1.1. Before 1.1, I need to take profit. Okay, now, but before I enter the buy, I need to wait for price to come above 1.1098 to be safe. Okay, anywhere above 1.1098. Okay, please give me a minute. All right, so okay, just like I said, all right, before I can be buying Euro USD, for me to be safe in buying, all right, I need to wait for the price to come either above 1.098. Anywhere above 1.098, I can start buying. Then I will take my profit before 1.09999. Yes. Now, there's something I mentioned to the Abuja clients. I told them, I said, every instrument has a price target. There is no instrument that doesn't have a price target. Okay. So for this guy now, there are some levels of price targets you're expecting this guy to get to. And those price targets can either be a support for price, or it can either be a resistance for price, right? So if I'm talking about price targets, areas like 1.10000, Okay, that's a price target for price. Or areas like, yeah, so or areas like 1.15000 or 1.2000. So those anywhere that you see that is just a target for price. Okay, those areas can either be support or resistance for price. So currently on Euro USD, now price hits the resistance, it fell back. If it's going back there, there's possibility it's likely to also what? To fall back again. Now it's been rejected by my moving average here, but remember, before I will buy, I will need to wait for price to come above 1.098. Then I take my profit before 1.09999. All right. So that's my take on Euro USD for today. Now, if I'm looking at selling this guy, which is Euro USD same, but I'm looking at selling it now, you see this area is a critical area for price. Sorry, right? A critical area for price. Let's see if I make out something from this guy. All right, if I'm looking at selling, okay, good. If I'm looking at selling, my sell entry point is going to be a bit far for price. Yeah, a bit far for price. So if I want to sell Euro USD, now you see this area I'm choosing is a critical area. So I'll be looking at somewhere around here because I need the price to fall very well. Rather, I look at this. So my sell entry is going to be very close, just a bit below my moving average. Okay. Just a bit below. Okay. Somebody said I should repeat the buy point. You just hold on, all right? Now, as it is, remember I said, currently the price hits the resistance, fell back. Now, getting to this price zone, which is 1.095. Now, before I'll be looking at buying, let it go above 1.098. Okay, anywhere above 1.098, I can start buying this guy. You understand? Okay, and I'll take my profits anywhere around 1.099. Okay, before it gets to another resistance and it starts pulling back. Okay, but for myself, now, in as much as this guy is not really looking at too much of selling, but okay, for myself, I'll be looking at my entry anywhere below 1.094. Anywhere below 1.094, then I take my profits somewhere around 1.092. Okay, and it's looking more like selling currently. Okay, so because of the fundamental that happened on Friday, that's why you see that this guy pulled up those points. So which means the fundamental tends towards more of part for the dollar, and you see that price pulled up to this point. Okay, so now if I'm looking at selling Euro USD, anywhere below 1.09406, anywhere below it, then I take my profit at 1.09290. 1.09290. So that's my take on Euro USD for today. That's my take on Euro USD for today. All right, let's quickly check another instrument, like GBP USD. GBP USD. Okay. So for GBP USD, GBP USD is one amazing instrument. Right now, if you notice, it's having more like the same move for that you can see on Euro USD, which means we are expecting anything that happens on Euro USD. But when it comes to GBP USD, I need to be very careful in trading it. Okay. Somebody asked me, where can you put your stop loss? On Euro USD that we just analyzed, You want to put stop loss, you put, now if price should break the resistance, that means the resistance has turned to support. That means you need to put your stop loss below your support. Okay. Now, if it is a sell, if price has broken the support, then you put your stop loss above, because that support will now turn to resistance. Okay. All right. So that's how it works. All right. And also you can calculate 200 points from your entry price. You can calculate 200 points from your entry price in order for you to get your stop loss figure. Okay. Now back to GBP USD. Now for GBP USD, if I'm looking at selling anywhere below 1.27, because most of these instruments they look more of selling. As of this morning, they look more of selling. So now, and for GBP USD, I'll be selling anywhere below 1.2789, anywhere below 1.2789. Then, if I'm taking profits, I take profits anywhere below, anywhere before 1.27756, 27756. Okay, so that's more like an. Okay, so that's if I'm selling anywhere below 1.278. Then I take profits anywhere before 1.277. Okay. Now, all these points are just point of, okay, now if price should do this, this is what I'm expected to, okay, to do. All right. So now also the same GBP USD, if I'm looking at buying, thank you, Moji. All right. If I'm looking at buying, so anywhere above, okay, because price can go back to the resistance and still fall. Okay, that's something price can do. So if I'm looking at buying this guy, which is GBP USD, then I should be looking at buying anywhere above. Just hold on, because the resistance is very short. The short resistance, which means a verified resistance. All right. So if I'm looking at buying GBP USD, anywhere above 1.2853, 1.2853, then I take my profits. I take my profits before 1.287, 1.287, 1.287. All right. So now this is it. Price got to the resistance and it starts pulling back. All right. So if it's going back to the resistance, I can't be buying at resistance. Do you understand? Okay. So the best thing for me to do is to wait for the price to break the resistance. Now, after breaking the resistance, then I can continue the trend. So which means I'm looking at a buy stop for that, for it to break the resistance. So I set my buy stop at 1.285, anywhere around that point, anywhere above it, then I put my take profit at 1.28737. Right. So that's what I'm likely to do on GBP USD. Okay, so for a sell, yeah, they've dropped the entry on the chart so that you can take advantage of it. Ensure that your take profit is before the moving average, because the moving average serves as a dynamic support and a dynamic resistance. Okay. All right. Now the prices have been dropped on the chart, so if you want to take advantage of it, see it's there. All right. Now my next instrument is AUD USD. AUD USD. Okay. So now, technically speaking, AUD USD has been an amazing instrument. Yeah. Has been now previously AUD USD was more of a downward move. Yeah, but it's looking more like doing sideways correctly. So since it's looking more like doing sideways, AUD USD is one instrument that I like, but at the same time, it doesn't really give much profit because of the price movement per time. The price movement is practically slow. Yeah, it doesn't give much profit like that. GBP USD, USD NOK, but still, it's conservative. So that's one of the reasons why I love AUD USD. So for AUD USD, if I'm looking at doing any buy or any sell trade, now with what price is doing now, price is likely to get to a point and start pulling back up. I used to say something that price cannot go in one direction for too long before it retraced. This guy has been falling since morning. So there is a point this guy will get to and it will start coming back up. So you don't want to be caught in that particular point. So now looking at buying on this guy, you can see all these areas here. Coming. Let me use my crosshair. Now, if you notice, this area is a point of support for price. Anywhere here, this is a point of support for price. You can see my chart very well. Also, you see this point is another zone for price. So now, for me to take advantage of this guy, I would rather put my entry somewhere around there, and I would rather put my take profit somewhere around there. Now, you see all this spike, all this long shadow. Basically, we call them volatility, right? Which means it is a forced price movement. So since it's a forced price movement, you don't really want to be too concerned about it. You need to be concerned about it rather, okay? Because price doing that kind of move is showing that there is tendency that price is likely to break that zone. Okay, so now for AUD USD, the sell preference is just that you sell from 0.66234, take profit before 0.66128. Take profit before 0.66128. So if I'm looking at buying anywhere above the moving average, is fine for me to buy. And anywhere above the moving average, we are talking about 0.66666. Okay, now remember I mentioned price target, right? See, now 0.6666 is another price target for price. And so I can look at taking profit before 0.6676, 0.66763. Just mention the numbers as I can. Can't see this. Yeah, that's why I'm calling the numbers. Okay. So again, on AUD USD, anywhere below 0.66234, that's a price target, and your take profits 0.66128. Then for the buy, you have 0.66660. Then take profit at 0.66763. Right? So that's my take on AUD USD. Right now, let's quickly check another instrument, NZD USD. Now, NZD USD is going to be a very lovely instrument to trade for this week. Why? Because now, you see, for this same instrument, there is interest rates coming out from the Reserve Bank of New Zealand, and for USD, you have CPI coming out, and all these news are coming out on Wednesday. So it's coming out on Wednesday. So you want to really take advantage of trading this guy, and at the same time, be careful. All right. Now, this is the NZD rate is coming out by 3 o'clock a.m. in the morning, and CPI for USD is by 1:30 in the afternoon. 1:30 in the afternoon. So you can get to trade the two. Now, but since there's no really fundamental that can easily change price direction on these guys, now we are trading technically for today. We are trading technically for today. We are trading technically for today. Okay. All right, hold on, please. Okay, so let's continue. All right, so after I'm done with this, okay. So now this NZD USD, right? So we quickly look at 4 instruments here. All right. So now for NZD USD, if I'm looking at a sell, definitely it's going to be below this price level here, this shadow, because this is a recent low for today. Now I have for the sell on NZD USD somewhere around 0.61673, and also I'm looking at taking profit before 0.61673. 0.61599. 0.61599. So if I'm looking at buying, it should be above the moving average. So anywhere above it, then I have my buy at 0.61923, then my take profit at 0.62010. My buy at 0.61923, then take profit at 0.62010. All right, so now I'm going to do one more instrument. Then I have my boss here to come and take over immediately after I'm done with the last instrument I'll be doing for today, which is USDJPY. Right, so I have my boss to come and take over, and it's going to be giving us more insight on other instruments to trade for the day and also for the week, right? Okay, so you can do both sell stop and buy stop on the same instrument. Okay, so Eugenia right? So the entries have been dropped. Okay, you can check it. You can check it. The entries have been dropped. Crystal Salmon. Now, if we have to check the reason why you said you have done that, okay? Now, basically, this is depending on what you have in your accounts. Okay? That means you need to check the lot size you want to be using to trade. If you use high lot size to be trading, and you don't have enough money in your account, or it's not like you are just you are floating in the river. Yes, as you are floating in the river, you use 0.01. 0.01 is quite good. Now, another question is, how much do you have in the account? Do you have enough money in the account in order for you to hold those trades? And also, what kind of instrument do you trade? Most times we don't consider all these things until something happens. So it's best to check. It's best to check all this before you gamble into trade. All right, so my last instrument, so that my boss can take over, we have USDJPY, USDJPY. Now, on USDJPY, USDJPY is one of my favorite instruments. I trade a lot. And now, let me quickly check for us. Now, for buying and for selling, basically, remember, every instrument fell. Any one that USD is the base, most of them fell on Friday for the fact that the data that came out wasn't really in favor of the US dollar. The NFP came out bad, and the unemployment rate was neutral, same. Okay, so price moved in favor of NFP, and price fell, right? So currently, you see that price has fallen, go to a support, it bounced back. Now it's trying to fall again. Now, basically, this is just retracement, and it's trying to what? Fall. Now, if it's falling again, now anywhere below 142.020, if you want to sell, for sell now on USDJPY, for sell on USDJPY, for sell, anywhere below 142.020. 142.020. 142.020. Then take profit at 141.804. 141.804. So if I'm looking at buying this guy, I'm looking at buying USDJPY to be more safer. I will do anywhere around here. I put my take profit here. So to be more safer, I'm looking at buying at 142.710, and I'm looking at taking my profit at 142.912. Okay, so that's my take on USDJPY. For the sell, somewhere around 142.020, and taking profit at 141.804. 142.020 for the sell, and take profit at 141.804. Then for the buy, I take my buy entry from 142.710. Then you take profit from 142.912. Now, all this is just that if price break a support or price break a resistance, okay, please, you have 100,000. It's more advisable, yeah, if you want to trade on indices, you can trade on any instrument, yes. But now, to be a conservative trader, you really need to be, you don't need to be everywhere. You just need to be focused on the instrument to trade. Okay? If you want to trade indices, ensure that you have a capital of 500, 1 million in your account. Okay? But then now you can still use your 100,000 to trade on indices, but you'll be using 0.01. That means you are limited to the lots you can use to trade at time. Okay. All right. So that's just it. Now you can trade indices, you can trade currencies. Now, what are the MAs I'm using? Very simple, 21 and 50. All right. So I'll be going off from us. All right. So you do enjoy a lovely week ahead, right? And a good trading day for today. So I hope Mr. Bayowa is ready. Okay. All right. So thank you all. You need to continue with Mr. Bayowa.
Hello, everyone. Morning. Hello, everyone. Morning. I believe you can all hear me. Please, if you can hear me, kindly just drop in the chat box. Yes. Okay. Okay. Thank you. Okay. Good morning, everyone. So today is another day, beginning of another trading week in the global financial markets. And we have a whole lot of activities lined up for today's, for this week. Great kudos to my colleague that took us through the currency instruments in the global financial markets. And then I'm going to take us through commodities and some other instruments, so as to give us an idea as regards how to take reasonable position and how to take some solid trade in the markets today and this week. All right. Can you hear me now? All right. I believe you can hear me now. Somebody said the volume is too low. I believe you can hear me now. Okay, so I'm going to share my screen with you, and then you'll be able to see what my colleague did. I'm just going to be very fast about it because of time. So today, that is Monday, the major impact news that we're having is from Governor Bailey of the UK. And then this week, we have, I believe you can see my screen as well. This week, we have CPI coming in hot on Wednesday. That's by 1:30 p.m. CPI from the US zone coming in hot on Wednesday. That same Wednesday, we have FOMC from, we have rate statement from the Canadian zone on that same Wednesday. And on Thursday, we have core PPI for USD. And that's basically what we're having. So because of that, you see that we call something in the market sentiment. The reason is because some investors and some traders, they tend to take, or they tend to relate to forthcoming or upcoming news as regards their position. So before they take a short position or a long position, they look at the markets, they look at the news that we're expecting this week. And that's what I'm going to share with us briefly this morning. We all know this, that there's a inverse correlation between the US dollar and the gold, and that's where I'm going to start from this morning. I'm going to start with gold this morning, all right? Let me share my charts. I'm going to start with gold this morning. I believe you can see my screen. Okay, I'm going to start with gold this morning. All right. So, like I said earlier on, gold has an inverse relationship with US dollar. Okay, and when the market opened this morning on the price of gold, we see that the market opened slightly higher when the market opened, and then when the market is right now, we see that on Friday, market is at a resistance, and when the market opened today, it came down and then it's starting to make a form of retracement. So technically, before Wednesday, that's we're expecting some major impact news from the US zone. We're looking at gold technically this morning, and I can tell you that even though the price of gold is at a very, very important level, then I expect the price of gold to still remain bullish till for the next few hours. You can see the mapped place I have on that 1929.95. I believe you can see that. That zone 1929.95. That zone is very, very important for the gold to exercise some, for the gold bulls to exercise caution around that area, because around that area, we expect that the bears will want to fight back from the bulls. That place for the time past has been a solid resistance for the price of gold. And also, if you make use of Fibonacci retracement, it will give you the golden ratio range around that area. So I expect that the price of gold should buy, if at all you want to continue buying, should buy up to that level. And that's the reason why I'm starting with gold this morning. So on gold this morning, I remain bullish for the meantime. So my area that I called 1929.95, I remain bullish on the price of gold till 1929.95. Okay, you can see that even the momentum of the bears, of the bulls, is quite low, because the bears are trying so much to seize power from the bulls again. But one thing is this: there's a huge possibility that after this zone that we have here, this resistance that we have here, 1926.64, then the price of bulls, the price of bulls will go up to 1929.95. So we can do two things. Number one, we can do an instant buy on the price of gold. We can do an instant buy on the price of gold. We all know that on this platform will not give you a precise take profit. And so this is what I'm going to do. You can as regards to your account size or your account balance, we all have different account balance. So as regards that, yes, I'm coming back. I will repeat the values. As regards to account size, please put into consideration your lot size, your position size. put into consideration your lot size according to your account size. So you can have a buy position on gold, an instant buy position on gold, and then take profit around maybe like 5 to 10 pips. And also, because that zone that I mentioned earlier on, that's 1929.95. Remember, it's the zone. It is not an exact point. So on another chart, you might want to, on your chart, you might want to put it to 1930. You might want to put it to 1928. It is a zone, not a precise value. So around that 1929, you can have a limit order of, you can have a sell limit around that zone, and then you can have 5 pips as your take profits, or 10 pips. So that's it on the price of gold this morning. I hope you get that point on the price of gold this morning. Let's quickly move to the price of oil. Let's quickly move to the price of oil. Let's move to the price of oil. Please, if you have any question, kindly drop it in the chat box, and then I will attend to you. Attend to that. You didn't get the numbers. The number for price of gold, I said a limit order around 1929.95. And also, you can do an instant buy on the price of gold. You can do an instant buy on the price of gold. And also, you can have a limit order around 1929.95. Or better still, let's do it this way. On your chart, instead of you, for some of us that don't know how to set limit orders, or you don't understand how limit orders work, this is what you do. Draw an horizontal line on that, around that zone, 1929.25. Draw an horizontal line around 1929.95. And when you draw an horizontal line there, just keep a close eye or a close watch. Just keep a close eye or a close watch on that zone. Keep a close eye on that zone, 1929.95. Keep a close eye on that zone. So once you see any bearish reversal candlestick around that area, it could be a bullish, it could be a bearish engulfing, it could be a shooting star, it could be a tweezer top, it could be dark cloud cover, all those bearish reversal candlestick. Whenever you see them around that 1929.95, then you can enter an instant sell and take your profits in pips. Okay, I have some questions here. I hope we will all understand the number now. Okay, so like I said, your profit is known to you, just known to you, right? The profit is known to you. You can have 5 to 10 pips on gold. Some of us can decide to ride it as long as we want. So I'm not giving a precise number for the take profits on the price of gold this morning. All right, quickly, let's move to the price of oil, like I was saying. The price of oil, like I was saying. See, the price of oil, if you look at what happened when the market opened this morning on price of oil, it's to some extent it came down, like it gapped down a bit on the price of oil. But because of the decision of Saudi Arabia and Russia to cut crude oil supply, it limited the excess loss that was expected on the price of crude oil this morning. So the price of crude oil actually fell around, I think, around 0.7%. I think so, 0.7% this morning. So that's why you see, when you look at your chart on the price of gold, on the price of oil, you see that the price of oil has been selling since. And then to some extent, there's something about this oil. You should know that oil is a news-based instrument, okay? I remember some weeks or some months back, I was on a position on oil, and it was giving me profit. And by the time I got back, I was almost out of that profit. Why? Because a rumor just came into the news, a rumor filtered into the market. And then because of that rumor, market sentiments came in and then almost took me out of that position. So we have to be very, very careful. That's why commodities can actually give you a reasonable amount of money in profits. I'm telling you, because we all have this at our fingertips. So the same information I can get on oil, on crude oil, on gold, and any other commodities is the same news or ideas that you can get as well. The only thing is we just need to follow the trend. just follow the trend. So on the price of oil this morning, I'm still expecting the price of oil to be bearish. As a matter of fact, if you look at your price of oil, you see that it's still coming down, and then I still expect it to sell up to this particular area. Please, if you don't have much money or much account in your balance or in your account, please do not take or do not overstretch your account. Okay, please, if you want to trade oil, if you want to trade gold, this is a session whereby people who have reasonable amount of money, it is okay for them to enter this trade. Okay, but if you don't have much amount of money, please, we encourage you to top up your account, even if it's for just this MMR reason. Top up your account so that you can have enough reasons to enter these positions. So I'm looking at the price of oil this morning, and I see that, and I believe that it's going to continue this bearish trend. I believe that it's going to be a bearish trend. Sorry, I'm yet to answer a question. For the Fibonacci extension on your Android phone, you can do that, yes. If you are anywhere close to any of our training centers, please visit any of our training centers, and you can meet with anybody there and they will teach you. But if you are not anywhere close to our training centers, you can please join the 10 o'clock morning class. It will be taught in one of those classes there. Thank you. And so going back to oil, the price of oil is still expected to crash down to a reasonable extent. Now, my fear on this price of oil is that, you know, the market sentiment, the way people interpret news is different. So, but one thing is, we have to be careful. My fear is about the CPI. You see, we have to be careful ahead of the US CPI and the China's economic data that is due this week. So please, if you are going to have anything to do with oil this week, please put into consideration the US CPI that is coming on Wednesday and the China's economic data, which we can always follow up on investing.com and also Forex Factory. So we have to be very careful as regards that. Now, like I said, I'm still expecting the price of crude oil to be bearish, but I don't expect it to be bearish for a very long time. I expect it to go up a bit. If you look at it from your daily time frame, you see that price of crude oil has been rejected around this zone multiple times. The price of crude oil has been rejected around this zone 78.32 multiple times. And presently, that is where the last candle, that was Friday's candle, that was where it got to before
All right. I think there's a technical issue. Okay. Yeah, there's a technical issue. Okay. Oh, I hope you can hear me. Okay. It's more of a technical issue. So it's coming back. All right. Basically, for those that didn't hear, you don't know about Fibonacci retracement or Fibonacci extension or anything Fibonacci, you can just try and join one of the online classes. Okay, the online classes you have, we usually have Monday, Tuesday from 10 a.m. between 10 a.m. 12:30, and in the evenings from Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. The classes is from 6 o'clock to 7:38 thereabouts. So Now you can take advantage of that. Any question you have, you can just throw it, and the person handling the class will answer your question and put you through on how to set any strategy you want to use. Okay, so now for the link, you can just send a message to your account officer, all right, so that they can send you the link. You can send, okay, so you can send a message to your account officer so that they share the link with you. Okay, so you get to take advantage of those classes also. All right, now don't forget, don't be ignorant of fundamentals. Okay, always look out for fundamentals. Anytime you want to trade, ensure you check out your fundamentals before you pick a buy or a sell. Right. So, but actually, you really need to know when a fundamental event to be released and also when it will be coming out. But for those that want to make small profits, you can quickly look at buying D30 currently and buy D30. The small lot size, the move has started already. So you can place a buy on D30. Use a minimal lot size, all right? I've entered the buy on D30 currently. So you can put a take profit before the 50 moving average. If you have it on your chart, you can just enter a buy on D30, just let it go. Okay, so the last thing we can talk about currently here in the morning market review. Okay, all right, so for you to watch the recap of this meeting that we just did, you can just go to our YouTube channel, Rally Trade, and check our YouTube channel. You see Rally Trade, just look for Rally Trade, and you get to see our YouTube channel. And follow up, there are some recorded classes on YouTube that you can easily just go through the class, and it will improve your knowledge in trading. Okay, so I think we have come to the end of today's meeting, because we have passed our time. Okay, what TP on D30? Okay, the TP on D30. Let me check for you so that TP on D30. Now, the TP on D30 is around, okay. Now, this is it. If you have not entered the buy, if you have a moving average on the chart, let the price go above 21 moving average. Then you put the take profit somewhere around 15765. So the take profit is 15765. 15765. That's your take profit, 0.0. 15765.0. Okay? So just take advantage of that. All right. Now, the link is on the chat box for the evening meetings and also the morning classes. Okay, so you can join. Please copy the link, ensure that you register for the classes, and understand this: you need good money to make good money. Okay, so now when it was mentioned, when my colleague was talking earlier, he said, okay, even if it's just for the morning market review, that you know that you get to gain some entries like that. So you can just easily top up your account, add money to your account, and you will be able to execute a very good margin in a very good lot size in trading. Okay, so I need help. I don't understand anything because, okay, please, we said it earlier. If you are new, all right, if you are new, okay, just if you attend any of our trainings, okay, we have trainings, we have training centers, Abuja, Lagos, we have in Port Harcourt, we have in Ibadan, and we also have partnering tech centers also, likes of Owerri. Now, depending on your location, now your account officer will get in touch with you. Okay, please, you can just drop your email. Okay, your account officer will get in touch with you and get to give you all the details that you need, okay, everything you need in order for you to get the knowledge you need in trading. All right. So I'll be waiting for your email so that I can link you up with your account officer to get in touch with you. Okay. So thank you all for joining this morning market review. I believe to some extent you should be able to stay in Abuja. If you're in Abuja, please, you need to come for training. Okay, training starts from today, Monday, by 10 o'clock a.m. All right, so you can easily attend trainings in the office. Since you're in Abuja, the Abuja office is by Finance Building in Secretariat. That's the Central Business District Secretariat. So when you get to Secretariat, just look for Finance. Then from Finance, look for Katsina House. Okay, so the 5th floor is where the Abuja office is. 5th floor, Katsina House. 5th floor, Katsina House. Right. Thank you all. Please do have a profitable trading day.